Hey everyone, welcome to our channel, and let's talk about heart health. Think all fruits are heart healthy? Think again. We've all heard that fruits are good for us, and it's true. They're packed with vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. But here's the thing, not all fruits are created equal, especially when it comes to your heart. Today, we're revealing the 3 worst fruits for your heart that you probably thought were healthy. Stay tuned. Let's start with a seemingly innocent culprit, canned fruits. At first glance, they might seem like a convenient and even healthy way to get more fruit into your diet, especially when fresh produce isn't always available or affordable. After all, fruit is fruit, right? But the truth is, not all canned fruits are created equal, and some can actually do more harm than good if you're not careful about what you're picking up at the store. Now, I'm not talking about fruits canned in their own juices, which can be a healthy option. These versions are typically just fruit, water, and maybe a little bit of added vitamin C to preserve color. They're a great alternative when you want the convenience of canned fruit without the drawbacks. In fact, canned fruit in its own juice can be a smart pantry staple, especially for busy families or anyone looking to reduce food waste. But what you really need to watch out for are the canned fruits swimming in heavy syrup. You know, the ones that look extra plump and juicy? That's often a red flag. The syrup isn't just there for flavor, it's loaded with sugar, and it can turn what should be a healthy snack into a dessert-level sugar bomb. The fruit may look more appealing, but it's been soaking in a bath of sugar for months, sometimes even years. See, those syrups are loaded with added sugars. In fact, a single can of fruit in heavy syrup can contain as much sugar as a can of soda, or even more. That's a lot of extra sweetness your body simply doesn't need, especially if you're already getting sugar from other sources throughout the day. It's easy to overlook, but those extra spoonfuls of sugar add up fast. And while a little sugar here and there won't hurt, consistently overloading your body with it can lead to weight gain and metabolic issues like insulin resistance. Over time, your body becomes less effective at processing sugar, which can set the stage for prediabetes and type 2 diabetes. Plus, excess sugar is often stored as fat, especially around your midsection, which is linked to a higher risk of heart disease and other chronic conditions. The American Heart Association recommends limiting added sugar intake to no more than 25 grams per day for women and 36 grams for men. To put that in perspective, that's about 6 teaspoons for women and 9 for men. It's not a lot, especially when you consider how much hidden sugar is lurking in processed foods, drinks, and yes, even canned fruit. And trust me, a single serving of those syrupy fruits can easily put you over the limit. Just half a cup of canned peaches in heavy syrup can contain up to 20 grams of added sugar. That's almost your entire daily allowance in just a few bites. If you're not reading labels carefully, it's easy to go overboard without even realizing it. Think about it. When you eat a piece of fresh fruit, the natural sugars are packaged with fiber, which slows down sugar absorption and keeps your blood sugar levels stable. The fiber also helps you feel full and satisfied, making it less likely you'll overeat. Plus, fresh fruit comes with a host of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that support your overall health. But when you strip away the fiber and add a ton of extra sugar, you're basically sending your blood sugar on a roller coaster ride. Those quick spikes and crashes can leave you feeling tired, irritable, and craving even more sugar. Over time, this pattern can wear out your body's ability to manage blood sugar, increasing your risk for serious health problems. Over time, these spikes and crashes can damage your blood vessels, increase your risk of heart disease, and even contribute to other health problems like type 2 diabetes. The constant strain on your system can also affect your energy levels, mood, and even your skin health. It's a ripple effect that starts with something as simple as a can of fruit. So, next time you're reaching for canned fruit, opt for the ones in their own juice or water. Better yet, if you can, choose fresh or frozen fruit for the most health benefits. Your heart, your waistline, and your future self will thank you for making the smarter choice. Okay, let's move on to another fruit offender. Dried fruits with added sugar. At first glance, dried fruits seem like a wholesome, natural snack. They're colorful, sweet, and often marketed as a healthy alternative to candy or other processed treats. But there's a lot more going on beneath the surface than you might realize. Now, don't get me wrong, dried fruits can be a convenient and healthy snack. They're portable, shelf-stable, and packed with nutrients like vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. For people on the go, they're a quick way to get a burst of energy and some of the benefits of fruit without worrying about spoilage. Plus, they're easy to toss into oatmeal, trail mix, or even salads for a touch of natural sweetness. But here's the catch. Many commercially available dried fruits are loaded with added sugars and preservatives. If you take a closer look at the ingredient list on most packaged dried fruits, you'll often find sugar, corn syrup, or even fruit juice. Concentrate added to boost the sweetness. Some brands even coat their dried fruit in sugar crystals, making them more like candy than a healthy snack. Think about it. When fruit is dried, it loses most of its water content, which makes it much smaller and more concentrated in sugar. That's why a small box of raisins can have as much sugar as a large apple, even though it looks like a much smaller portion. The same goes for dried apricots, mangoes, or cranberries. You could easily eat a handful of dried fruit in seconds, not realizing you've just consumed the sugar equivalent of several pieces of fresh fruit. Now, if you're getting your dried fruits from a reputable source and they're unsweetened, you're good to go. These options can be a great way to enjoy fruit year-round, especially when certain varieties are out of season. Unsweetened dried fruits retain most of their nutrients and can be a smart addition to your diet in moderation. But many brands add sugar to enhance the flavor and make their products more appealing. And that's where the trouble begins. Added sugars not only make the fruit taste sweeter, but they also increase the risk of overconsumption. It's easy to eat more than you intended when the fruit tastes like candy, and that can quickly add up in terms of calories and sugar intake. These added sugars not only increase the calorie content of the dried fruit, but they also negate many of the health benefits. Instead of getting a nutrient-dense snack, you're getting a sugar bomb that can spike your blood sugar and leave you feeling sluggish later. Over time, regularly eating dried fruits with added sugar can contribute to weight gain, tooth decay, and even increase your risk for chronic diseases like diabetes and heart disease. Remember the fiber we talked about earlier? Well, dried fruits already have less fiber than their fresh counterparts, and adding sugar further tips the scales in the wrong direction. Fiber is important for digestion and helps slow the absorption of sugar into your bloodstream. When you eat dried fruit with added sugar, you're missing out on that natural balance, making it easier for your blood sugar to spike. So, what's the solution? Choose dried fruits that are unsweetened and free of added preservatives. Look for products that are labeled "no added sugar" and "no preservatives." These are usually found in the health food section or at specialty stores, but more mainstream brands are starting to offer them as well. Look for brands that use only one ingredient, the fruit itself. The ingredient list should be short and simple, just apricots, mango, or whatever fruit you're buying. If you see anything else like sugar, syrup, or sulfur dioxide, it's best to put it back on the shelf. And remember, moderation is key. Even unsweetened dried fruits are concentrated sources of sugar and calories, so it's best to enjoy them as an occasional treat, not an everyday staple. Try pairing a small portion with some nuts or seeds for a more balanced snack that will keep you satisfied longer. By being mindful of your choices, you can enjoy the natural sweetness of dried fruit without falling for the sugar trap. Finally, let's debunk a common misconception, one that's been around for decades. Many people believe that even 100% fruit juice is a healthy choice, especially when compared to sodas or artificially sweetened drinks. But the truth is, even pure fruit juice can be surprisingly bad for your heart, and it's important to understand why. I know, it sounds counterintuitive. After all, we've been told for years that fruit is good for us. So how could juice, made from fruit, be a problem? After all, juice is made from fruit, right? It seems logical to think that drinking juice is just as healthy as eating the fruit itself. But here's the thing. When you juice a fruit, you're essentially stripping away all the fiber and leaving behind a concentrated dose of sugar. The process removes the pulp, which is where most of the fiber and many nutrients are found. What you're left with is a sweet liquid that's missing the very components that make fruit so healthy in the first place. Think of it this way. To get a single glass of orange juice, you'd have to squeeze the juice out of 4 or more oranges. That means you're consuming the sugar from all those oranges in just a few gulps without any of the fiber to slow things down. And without the fiber to slow down sugar absorption, that juice is going to hit your bloodstream like a sugar bomb. your blood sugar spikes rapidly, which can leave you feeling jittery at first and then tired or hungry soon after. Over time, these repeated sugar surges can put a real strain on your body. These rapid blood sugar spikes can wreak havoc on your heart health. When your blood sugar rises quickly, your body has to release a lot of insulin to bring it back down. If this happens often, your cells can become less responsive to insulin, a condition known as insulin resistance. Insulin resistance is a major risk factor for heart disease, and it's also linked to weight gain and higher levels of triglycerides in your blood. Over time, these changes can increase your risk of developing serious health problems, including type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular disease. Plus, many commercially available fruit juices contain added sugars, artificial flavors, and other unhealthy ingredients. Even juices labeled as all natural or no added sugar can be misleading, as they still pack a hefty dose of natural sugar, sometimes as much as a can of soda. So, even if you're choosing 100% juice, you might be getting more than you bargained for. The sugar content can be shockingly high, and without the fiber, your body processes it just like any other sugary drink. So, what's the takeaway? While a small glass of 100% fruit juice occasionally won't hurt, it's best to get your fruit intake from whole, fresh fruits. Whole fruits provide not just natural sweetness, but also fiber, vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants that work together to support your health. They're naturally sweet, packed with fiber, and much lower in sugar overall. So next time you're thirsty, reach for water, or enjoy a piece of fruit instead of pouring another glass of juice. Your heart and your whole body will thank you for making the healthier choice. So, there you have it. The 3 worst fruits for your heart that you probably thought were healthy. Remember, whole, fresh fruits are still great for your heart. Just be mindful of processed fruit products with added sugars. Focus on whole fruits, and your heart will thank you. They're naturally sweet, packed with nutrients, and good for your overall health. If you found this helpful, hit like and subscribe for more health tips. Until next time, stay healthy.